I think that I saw it with such fluidity that it helped me to visualize it, right? What we think about is really we're creating our future, right?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
So, Leonard, tell us a little bit more how you decide to make that journey from corporate to build your own business. Because honestly, you guys get paid very good money, and I can tell that you really love what to do. So, why you gonna go out from a safe environment that they pay you good money? I presume that was in LA, and you start to to start your own business, which is something really something that is a little bit risky, more risky than maybe what you thought when you quit and start to start your own business. So what made you make that shift?
Well, I think that's a great question for any entrepreneur, right? Because there is that pivotal moment. There's the moment when you decide to bet on yourself. And my thought was that if I could make a lot of money for the companies that I was working for, then I could definitely make money for myself. And I think that, some industries see that more than others, right? There's a lot of, um, I guess in the marketing space, in the advertising space, in the PR space, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, right? That's a space that really lends itself to being an entrepreneur. But say you're not in the marketing space, right? Maybe you're in a different type of service business, and it can be scary, right? Like it can be a big gap. I know that
Even for
for
you, Leonard, you were not scared to go to be you by your own. You don't have no any tiny space of fear,
I'm not going to say there was no fear, but I think
but
it's in
you
how
were
you manage.
confident. Yeah. I think that
Yeah.
that I agree with you that all of us entrepreneur is somehow in our DNA. Yeah. That we want to build something. We just sometimes we just waiting for the right moment. But how do you have any member of your family, any friend, anybody that is an entrepreneur around you that kind of reinforce this gene within you, this entrepreneur gene within you? Uh, or basically there is no one. Yeah. And do you read a
Yeah,
book? What happened?
I think so. A lot of entrepreneurs maybe get that from their family, but for myself, that wasn't the case. There's not entrepreneurs in my family. I'm probably the first, and I think that it was just an exposure, right? So I had worked in law firms for about 10 years before I went out on my own, and I think that seeing the lawyers come and go, and some of them had their own firms, and then they joined a firm, and then they would leave and join and have their own firm. And I think that I saw it with such fluidity that it helped me to visualize it, right? What we think about is really we're creating our future, right? So I think that I had spent enough time thinking about it and conceptualizing what I wanted to do so that I was more comfortable taking that leap, right? Don't get me wrong though. For everyone listening and watching, there's fear, right? There's the point where you feel like you're floating because, there's that interim period when you've let go of one rope before you've committed to the next one, and you're just like floating.
Oh
And
yeah.
a blessing and a curse a little bit.
And then you have your family, your friends. I'm the same way. I mean, my grandpa was an entrepreneur, but he died when I was a kid, so I only hear stories. I couldn't even see the role model. But no one in my family was an entrepreneur. I'm actually the first one from the people that I have direct contact with. And oh my God, I'm started this number one. I lost all my friends because I start to go out with my friends. As soon as I start to go to talk about the business, nobody cares. No
Mm.
one. So I'm like, wow, uh, this they literally don't care about what I had to say. Everything was important, less my thing, right? And then with the family, I don't know, it was terrible as well. My mom, what are you doing? You crazy? Just why you don't go back to your job? And when I said, Mom, I'm gonna expand, my mom only said, expansion? No, don't expand anything. I don't want to hear more about expansion. It's enough. So things like that. So Leona, what was this gap when you left? Exactly what you said, one rope and about to get the other one. Do you have any support in family, friends, or somehow people start to talk a little bit weird about you, like, oh my God, it's crazy, why is he leaving his job, things like this. So what was because that also, the level of confidence that you have, sometimes people that you love give you a comment that might have an impact on you. So how you find the strength, or probably no, probably everybody say, okay, go for it, we are with you, whatever it takes. So what actually happens?
There's a definite important factor when you're making that shift, right? And it is having support. For me, it was finding people in the entrepreneurial community, right? I used to do a lot of networking events and that type of thing. And so I would find people who were of like mind, right? I started circulating with other entrepreneurs. I started circulating with people who I haven't written a book to date, but I started circulating with people who had written books, right? And people who had self-published, people who had a publisher. I started reaching out to people and getting in my network other agency owners, right? There was a gentleman who ran a big agency in Los Angeles. He and I connected, right? We went to a few events. We kind of commingled our people. And that's really the key is having a support system that serves you where you are. And sometimes that's not friends and family. Actually, most of the time, that's not your friends and family, right? Let me give a caveat to that. It's not that your friends and family don't care. It's that they're seeing you in a different package. You as the 9 to 5 person is not the same person as you as the CEO who runs their own business, right? Whether that's online, in person, whatever. So they're seeing you differently. You're a different character in their story. And so that's sometimes a challenge, right? I've had friends that, well, why are you spending so much time on that? Well, you've tried that before. Like you get the comments, but then you realize, okay, those just aren't my people, right? They're commenting about the business that I'm doing or that, a listener's doing. They're commenting about the business, but they're still sad, unhappy, and probably fat at their 9 to 5, right? Let's just call it what it is. So why are we taking advice from someone who's fat, unhappy, not doing what you want? No. We get to feel that the people who are supporting us have our back. And we also get to feel that the people who are giving us comments that are not supportive don't really know what they're saying, right? I don't think that any of our friends or family are bad, but I think that they're in a different concept, in a different context, right? They're looking at you as the old version. And so it's difficult for them to see you in this new light. It's difficult for them to want to embrace you in that new thing because,
Mm.
ooh, it's something new.
I feel, Leona, sometimes like, because we do understand them, yeah, because we had jobs before, but I feel that they will never understand me. So very difficult. I understand the point that they coming from, and they're your friend. They love you. They want to clearly help you. Sometimes people are giving. I'll tell you a story. I got my dad. Yeah, running my dad came to work into my business. Yeah, and he's giving me advice. Yeah, and he never runs a business before. Yeah, he's giving me an advice, telling me you have to do this. Yeah, and then I don't take the advice into consideration. And then somebody comes, somebody that have an entrepreneur that is successful in the field. I was doing property back then. Give me the same advice. Then I'm taking the advice, and then my dad is angry with me because why you listening to him and not listening to me? And and I still am trying to find ways to explain that to him that it's nothing personal. It's not that I don't want to listen to you. It's about that, if an entrepreneur give me an advice and the person already saving over $1 million, I had to put more weight, more in the decision-making process to what that person is telling me. What you telling me, I love you said that, and I get it that you're trying to help like everybody else, but there is a different weight. And then, when your people around you, they see different. They see like an attack on you or things like that, and it's very, very difficult for us to convey that to say, look, this is the way that we operate. This is otherwise we don't survive what we do. This is we now have to operate like this, otherwise we don't survive in what we do. So then, but Leona, how do you got that mindset? Because your life changed completely. You coming from a job where I bet you were really, really at one specific thing. And now you're going into business where the whole point is that, well, you have to be good not at one thing. You have to be good in a lot of things, or at least have some understanding. Basically, you have to learn things that maybe you don't like. I mean, I'm saying, or something in
Very
the
true.
way, and it's and like you cannot delegate as a CEO. You do need to know and understand how you're going to employ people, how you're going to the people. So you need to understand a little bit. So first you have this idea, this vision. Wow, gonna be the business, and this is what I want to do. But then it's got that process that you do need to go into in the skills, and now you need to learn about a few things that you don't like, most of them, but now you have to know to have an understanding. So how you manage this? Did you resist it to it, or you managed to find the to I don't know, to like a legal contract for me? Oh my God, everything legal, and oh my God, it's so long, so many details, so exhausted. So how you become that?
I think that it's just something in my DNA a little bit. So when I was a kid, you play restaurant, you play, takeout order window, you play bank teller. Okay, well, I was never the bank teller. I was the bank president. I was never the waiter. I was the restaurant manager. Like even when I was little, that was just the
It's
the
in your
route that I
DNA.
took.
It's
Yeah,
inside your,
it's in the
it
DNA.
was there.
And I say that not to illustrate anything other than my pull was always to lead people, lead processes, be effective, be efficient, and and it really comes from the leadership role, right? As a regular, waiter in my analogy, or as a regular employee, you're hired to do a task, right? Your
Hmm.
sole focus is on doing the task. And you
Hmm.
come in every day, Monday through Friday, and you do that. As a business owner, the days are not the same, right? You have to still do that task. You still have to produce the work. But then, like you said, you're about now I got to hire people, right? Now I got to fire people. Now I got to handle the incoming and the out, so like the AP and the AR. Now I got to handle tech, right? Or get a tech person. Now I got to handle, like you said, the up of the contract, right? So all of these different aspects, I think for the new owner, it is very overwhelming because there's a lot of irons in the fire, and you're almost operating as like a CEO team of one, right? You don't have staff when you're first starting out. And so you really do have to wear a lot of those hats and you have to know what you're doing. I think I was very blessed and grateful because prior to Geek House, I had been in a litigation firm. So I saw contracts, I saw the accounting records, right? I saw all of the details and I saw how it moved. So that really gave me the framework for how I can set things up in my own agency. But than that, it's a shift in that everything is your fault. With love, everything is your fault.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.